Hello. We're back. So, last episode was kind of fun. 2 people died. It was a time. But I don't know why I'm hesitating saying this. Oh damn, my mouse pad. Whoops, forgot that again. That's why I'm uncomfortably leaning. So, there we go. Ah, what? What file did I click? Yeah. So I put a poll on Twitter as to save. No, I want to. This file, because I had put a poll on Twitter if I should. I'll do the same answers I did last time though. Sal. But I kind of do think there's a pattern now. I don't know. I was thinking about it, but yeah, I had put a poll on Twitter as to whether or not I should use the password or not, or continue down the bad timeline. And more people chose to input the password, and that's what I wanted to do anyway. So, because I was like fully going to like, oh, it's like once I hit the bad end thing, I'll go back, because I assumed it was gonna be like a day or an afternoon. And then day 12 started, and I'm like, oh. So we're gonna prevent that, because I don't want Dean and Roswell to die. I do care, so I braced myself for it was the worst thing I could have, maybe bracing myself for maybe the worst thing I could have done, as a sharp pain coursed through my head. Yeah, that scene's lit, though. As it flashed in front of my eyes, I gulped. There it was. I didn't want to have succeeded in finding the password, but the fact that I did felt bittersweet. It was Sal, somehow, sleepwalking maybe, but I knew where I needed to go next. I came to on the floor of the vault. My head was spinning, as if I had just been thrown out of the room in a few minutes. How long had I been out? How long had it been? Was it too late to intervene? Scrambling to my feet, I tore out of the room and headed upstairs in search of Sal. Sal! Calling out into the foyer, I'd hoped he'd heard, or anyone would hear for that matter. It echoed out into the halls, but no response. Was it too late? Grabbing my phone out of my pocket, I checked the time. It wasn't too late in the evening, and if what I had seen was any indication, there was still time before... Sal, where are you? Do I want to know why you're shouting in the middle of the foyer? Hoss, where's Sal? Hold up there, Dave. Why do you want to know? He's gonna kill someone. Excuse me? The vault, have you seen him or not? Upstairs, I think, with Dean. I turned away from Hoss and bolted upstairs, continuing out to shout out for Sal. Sal? What? I looked to what he held in hand, a small container of medication. It's you? What's him? In the vault, I saw you. What are you doing right now? Oh, okay, so I think you should stop yelling. Then I whined, shuffling anxiously on the spot while Dean placed a hand on my shoulder. Now what happened? Massacre. Sal's going to... I replayed the events of the day in my head, thinking back to everything I had learned, with my eyes settling on the medicine in Sal's hand. What's that, Sal? Medicine? Sleeping medication, yes. Technically it's mine, but I don't know. Sal sometimes asks for it to help him sleep. But why? After everything we talked about today, I wouldn't mind just getting some decent sleep. But what if taking the medication makes it worse? How would taking medication make things worse? What kind of medicine is it again, Dean? Bear tranquilizers? Oh, I think I see the problem. The three of us were left in silence, and Sal's gripping on the medication tightly. Sal? With a sigh, he pushed the container back to Dean, shaking his head. What do I do? I only wanted... Dean and I looked at one another, uncertain. I'm sorry, I just wanted to... Sal shrugged, and I wondered if he was crying despite seeing no tears. Hey, it's alright, Sal. You'll be okay. I can't really say that I know what's going on, but... It's my fault. I don't know, I guess I just didn't want another thing like Benson to happen. Well, at the very least, bringing it up is a better thing than just bottling it up. Still, if you saw a thing, then I guess we can, Dave? Yeah? I'm sorry if you thought I... He shouldered and lumbered past me, almost in a daze. Sal, come back! I'm so curious how this all goes down in Sal's route, but we'll do that another day. Dean, Save it, you meant well, right? Of course. Well, I trust that at least. Just let me deal with Sal and hopefully things will be alright in the morning. Dean stepped in and gave me a quick hug. Good night, Dave. I watched as Dean left, unsure if I'd done the right thing after all. On one hand, I wasn't sure if this was a case of me having spotted what I saw happen, or in my intervention had just ensured it was going to happen. Still, I did all I could. Would Dad have been proud? I wanted to feel proud, but something was nagging at me that I'd done something bad. Maybe it was just the cost of trying to keep everyone alive. I made my way to the bedroom and ran my head through my fur. I was tired, and I was at a loss of how I was feeling. Had I done the right thing by Sal? By everyone? The longer I stood before my bed, the more I felt that I'd done something bad. Either way, I was exhausted. So? Oh, Ty. What's got you so jumpy? I'm just tired, that's all. Then get your ass into bed. I will. Hold up. What's with your face? My face? You look like you got busted doing something you didn't. What do you do? I grumbled, sitting down on the bed while Ty closed the door to the bedroom behind him and coming over to me. I got the vault to work again. I sorta wish I didn't. No shit, what do you see? Sal killing. Damn, so you... I went and confronted Sal about it, yeah. He didn't take it very well, but Dean's looking out for him now. What, you went up and told him not to kill anyone? How do you expect that to go? Better than how it did. I guess I got caught up in the moment of just trying to stop what I saw from happening, that it'll probably be fine in the morning. Just say you're sorry. Give the lug a cuddle and something, and it'll be fine. You think that's all it'll take? Fuck if I know. Not much you can do about it now, though. Yeah, I guess you're right. For real, though, you okay? I guess just tired now. Can we just, sleep? Ty sighed out, shaking his head. You're hopeless, but yeah, just sleeping is fine. If you wanted to, dude, don't worry about it. There'll be other chances, maybe. I don't know. Ty got up and switched off the lights, heading over to the other side of the bed and getting in. Is it alright if I just, if I find it, a little scary? Dave, get in the damn bed and get some sleep. You're overthinking things. Okay, you're right. Sorry. I stripped down to my underwear and got into bed next to Ty. Neither of us moved at first before Ty slid his arm under my head and pulled me to him, making his chest a makeshift pillow. It was usually the other way around, but the steady thudding of his heart put me at ease. As I yawned against him, he gently rubbed my arm up against. Was like, yeah, okay. Okay, we're on path A. That's the good path, right? I assume AB is the good timeline, and CD. I think I read there was an E, but yeah. So I assume those are all three are the bad timeline, which I do want to do. I'm curious, but I want to make sure people survive. You know, it's like in the Silent Hill playthrough. I'm gonna try to do the good plus ending if I remember. It's when you get to the resort area, right? That you can meet Kaufman and save him and get the juice to spray on. You know what I mean. I remember tossing and turning in my sleep restlessly. Dave, come on, buddy. Time to get up. What voice did I use for him last time? I don't even remember. The corner of my mouth twitched upward at the familiar voice, but it soon faded, brow furrowed. Give me 5 more minutes, Dad. Oh, are you tired? You've slept long enough, buddy. Come on. Man, he's definitely like the cutest character, though, right? Like, I'm not... Right? Like... My eyes adjusted to see Dad sitting on the bed, a hand on my shoulder, from what he gently nudged me awake. I felt sluggish, but what I could see was clear. That's my boy. Dad, what? Where? I had to have been dreaming again, right? This was a dream, much like the last time, but why? Why now? My heart ached seeing him after what had happened to Sal and Dean. Are you sick, son? You're looking a little under the weather. No, I'm fine. I think I just, You sure? I don't mind calling in sick myself if you want me around. Or I could shoot Tyson a message, see if he'll keep you company again. I sat up, rubbing my eyes. Wait, he's just gonna, like, let Tyson skip school to babysit? I mean, of course he would. I mean, this just seems like the coolest guy, right? What a dad. I sat up, rubbing my eyes. I had to be dreaming. I went to pull out my fur to see if that'll wake me up. But my own arm slipped out of my grasp. Dad, why are you here? That's not very nice, son. I'll always be with you. It's just the job of a dad. You'll be with me always? That's right. So come downstairs. It's almost time to get going. He got up and left the room before I could get a word in. That was normal. Maybe not with how he seemed to slide out of the room, but he did move fast when he was excited. But where are we going, and why? The next thing I knew, I was downstairs, looking at the living room. I couldn't make out what they were saying, but I could hear Mom and Dad yelling. Dad stomped past me, stopping at the door. He just looked at me quietly for a moment before he sighed out. He went to say something, but it was garbled, like I couldn't understand him. He went to speak again, much the same result. I shook my head, confused, but he seemed to be laughing. I took a couple steps towards him, reaching out my hand, but he was gone. As the bedroom came back into view, I looked around to take stock of where I was. Hammond Manor, a bed that I was, for the most part, slowly becoming used to. But the one thing I was used to was the wolf next to me, sprawled out on his back, seemingly at peace. My mind grew to wonder as I started to stare at the ceiling. I didn't normally have dreams like this, more so about Dad. Was it just getting to the point, pushing it past down, not working? I sat up in bed and shifted away from the other person occupying it, feeling not quite tired, but more confused as to how I was really coping. By the time I was decent and made my way downstairs, I looked out at the foyer. The house was quiet. For how big it was, I expected that there would be some sort of sound echoing, but the soundproofing probably took care of that. Taking a seat on the stairs, I cradled my head with my hands, rocking back and forth slowly. What do I do? I repeated the question as a whisper to no one in particular, not even to myself, as I tried to figure out what the next plan was. I'd been successful, right? Seeing what I had in the vault? Even at the cost of making Sal sad, was that worth it? Ugh, this sucks. I groaned out, slumping back against the stairs before I caught myself nearby. Wait, I caught movement nearby. What are you just doing out, Osmond? This man, huh? Must you be so loud in the morning? I wasn't loud, I was just... Of course he's like... has a smirk, right? What an ass. The words were already out of my mouth before I realized the irony and saw Osmond cracking a smile. Why aren't you in your, hiding? I'm on my way to bed, wondering my own house is somewhat normal given I live here, no? But staying hidden and... Believe me, I'm aware. But at the same time, consider that I would know best how to move about my house outside of, perhaps, Benson. So you're going to disappear now? Well, soon. Are you still interested in another meeting tonight? If you changed your mind, then I suppose that's that. No. I mean, no, I'm still interested. Good. Because I have questions for you after last night. You put on quite a show. You were watching? He's always watching. Osmond's always watching you, Fap Dave. It's just... All those late night shower sessions with Tyson, he's watching. The equivalent to a morning televised program, if anything. But something that I've been pondering while you've been asleep, no doubt. I scrunched up my nose at him, feeling bitter that I was just a form of entertainment for him. Am I funny to you? Yes? Funny? No. Fascinating? Absolutely. Man, why isn't Oswin around? He's a riot. Probably age difference. I get. Not every game can be Knights College where you can just... I mean, at least your character is legal in that game. So, like, it's less weird, but at the same time, like, I was always going for the teacher if they let me. This is Persona 3 rules. This is Persona 5 rules. We always going for the teacher. Granted, your mental state is something I'm concerned about. Same. I think we all are. Dave is not how we say a healthy individual. Whatever effect the Volt is having on you is something that could do some lasting damage. I don't have a choice if it's keeping my friends alive. Quite. Which is why it's imperative I monitor you when I can make sure you don't degrade further. Either way, it's something to address tonight. Oh my god, do I have the hiccups? Jesus Christ. I'll meet you in the library at 11 p.m., and I'll take you to the lab from there. I can't just meet you at the lab? Not this time. Not without me showing you the way first. That in itself is a test that I'm curious to know how you'll respond. I'm not convinced that I wasn't convinced, and it must have shown in my face. Don't worry about it, Dave. I shall see you tonight. I don't think to follow him, but I watched as he headed towards the basement. I could only assume that he had another secret passage down there, or had something else planned. Either way, the others were likely to start showing up soon. With the thought of the others soon joining me, I headed into the dining room in a daze. Coffee? Breakfast? I was so tired. Then into the kitchen. I wondered if I should just head back to bed or if I should just stay here in the kitchen. It wasn't as if it was any different to any other morning, especially with Dad gone. A hand on my shoulder made me jump, and I spun to turn to who had touched me as they pulled their hand away. Oh, it's just you. Did I scare you? Heaven forbid I did anything of the sort. No, just, it's fine, really. I didn't even smile, even if I wanted to out of reflex. It just didn't happen. What's troubling you, my boy? You look far worse for wear, and no wonder given the hour. I just don't know anymore. All this stuff is just getting to me. I pulled my gaze away to stare at the coffee pot, hoping it'd finish brewing faster. It's been getting to me for a bit now, but no one understands. Right. As far as they know, this is just a thing in my head. After all, like, what would you do if your friend told you that you were going to die out of nowhere? He didn't respond, so I continued. Or if you had to accuse one of your friends for murdering someone else. What do I do? There's nothing you can do, my boy. For one reason or another, you've made this decision, and the only one holding you to it is yourself. But what if someone else dies? Everyone dies, be it by natural causes or by an assailant in the night. Take it from someone with first-hand experience in such matters, Dave. Like that's meant to help anyone? That's not going to help me, knowing that everyone's just gonna die. Then perhaps, Master Dave, you should stop believing you have absolute control over everyone's life. Man, this is like my favorite look for Benson. He's just like, he's so through with this. Like, I like to think that this is just like Benson has snapped and he's just going to murder everyone himself. Like, that's the look I see in this man's eyes. Is it simply their time? If it is their time, it is simply their time. I clenched my jaw, then my fist. Then the next thing I knew, I was throwing a fist at Benson. Maybe it was something rubbing off on me from Tyson. Maybe it was just an act of defiance after what Benson had said. But his moves were calm and precise, stepping around my arm and grabbing my wrist and twisting it tightly, making me yelp. Now you listen here, my boy. His grip tightened, and I started to whine as he forced me to my knees, kicking lightly behind my knee. It hurts, stop. Oh, does it? Then perhaps you should think twice about trying to inflict pain on others, my boy. I yelped as he clenched tighter, his grip almost like a vice. But then he let go, and the moment he did, I cradled my arms, whimpering. If you're that keen on fighting for control, then be ready for someone or something to fight back. Fighting for what's right is not necessarily the easiest road. It will hurt, Dave. He stepped away and I got up, shaky. But then... Yes, they'll die, I know. Take what I said as a precautionary tale, then. Eventually, something will break, my boy. At the rate you're going, it could just be you. He moved off to another part of the kitchen, and my gaze went to the floor. I closed my eyes and just stood there, just to block out my own thoughts. Just give up, Dave. Let whatever happens happen. Let them die. The next thing I knew, I was sitting at the table, being lightly shaken by Tyson. What are you doing? I looked between him and Orlando, then the mug of coffee in front of me. Dave, you look out of it. No shit. Also, what the hell bailing on me this morning? Fucking had me worried. What? Were you doing this? Were you doing this morning? What were you? Okay. Nothing. Just something he and I do sometimes. Ty made a show of grinding his knuckle into my head, but it was more of a massage, and he knew exactly where to touch. Oh, well, so long as you're okay, I guess I'll just make breakfast. I look up to watch Orlando wander to the kitchen, and I watched as Ty took my mug away. This is fucking ice cold. You've been, nursing this for how long? Soon he took left, grumbling as he, went towards the kitchen. I looked up to Dean and Sal. It's kind of weird seeing these two kind of paired. Because, like, at the beginning, they always kind of, like, paired off Sal with Orlando. But, you know. I looked up as Dean and Sal wandered into the dining room. They both looked tired, and I could only imagine why. Good morning, Dave. Sal mumbled something before sitting down at the table, Dean glaring at him, nodding before sitting down next to me. So, I whined softly, watching as Dean scratched his arm awkwardly as he rested them on the table. I'm sorry for last night, Dean, really. He shook his head, sighing out. It'll be alright. He yawned briefly before massaging his face. I cracked my wry smile, feeling I should try and lighten the mood. You know, you look as tired as me. Did you sleep all right? He flashes me that same smile back, lasting only for a second. The longer he didn't give me an answer, the more it sank in. You haven't slept? There are certain things that are more important, namely taking care of someone dear to me, and that means Sal. I'm sorry, I didn't... Much like the night before, Dean held up a hand and shook his head. It's fine, Dave. We talked it out, and for better or worse, what's done is done. I'm tired, though, but that's fixable. And as for Sal, he just needs some cheering up, but I'm on top of that too, don't worry. Can I help? Not this time. If that changes, though, I'll let you know. That doesn't feel good. Dean went to join Sal nearby, the pair of them talking quietly between themselves. Then Roswell and Hoss showed up, surprisingly a lot more perky than the rest of us. Good morning, guys. Oh wait, that's not Roswell, that's Hoss. Good morning, guys. Yeah, good morning. I drummed my finger on the table, missing the mug of coffee I'd made myself despite letting it go cold. Well, what's on your mind, Dave? A lot? Oh, okay, but anything more specific than that? We can't help unless you say something. I went to say something, but instead just shook my head, keeping my gaze on the table. Hoss and Roswell took the seat next to each other and started talking in hushed tones about me, specifics I couldn't quite make out, but they were planning something. I just had to make it through the day to tonight. Osmond would tell me some more things, and knowledge was power, right? He said as much when I ran into him earlier. Or maybe not that specifically, but if he had anything to help me not break, as Benson put it, I was willing to listen. Orlando emerges from the kitchen with a bunch of toast, and Ty stopped by with a mug of coffee for me. He sat down carefully in front of me and caught my eye, flashing me a small smile. It made me feel something, but after a moment it was gone, and he was wandering further down the table with his own mug. They moved off, and the rest of the breakfast was a blur. Let go, Dave. It's all right. Let them die. Earth to Dave? Huh? I came to with Haas snapping his finger in front of my face. My coffee was half gone for a cursory glance and still warm, so must not have zoned out for too long. He's been talking to you for a couple minutes, Dave. Sorry, House and Dean shot each other a glance, worried I could tell they were, but I didn't know what to tell them. After all, what could you say when the voice in your head, the voice of what sounded like your dad, was telling you to let your friends die? I mean, I guess I could have guessed that was supposed to be like his daddy's voice. It's not like it's Samuel or something. I should probably like do a real playthrough of Smoke Room since I took down those streams that I did. Like, I don't know. I did half of those had terrible audio, or like the resolution was fucked because I was very new, which is weird to say because that was just in June, but I guess I've been working at this channel for a month and a half now, and I don't know, I think it's coming together. Like, sure, it's like all furry VN shit, and I've been telling myself if I do videos on YouTube, it will be Yu-Gi-Oh themed, but you know, that didn't happen. I'd like to, though. I have like half a script done for like a deck profile because I script those because I say I script those, but there's only one on the channel, right? Is what it is. Maybe you should go back to bed. I wouldn't blame you given how I'm considering it. Nah, I need him for something else. Huh? For what? Just trying to corral your two favorite people together for some friendly, well, let's just say I'm going to force them to play nice. You're not going to make them wear some oversized t-shirt, are you? I might, if they force my hand. But let's start with getting them to play a game together. A game? What kind of game? A card game? I'll crush their souls! Yo, I just finished building Shoutmon today, and finished. I did some light play testing, and it wasn't the smoothest thing in the world, but I really enjoyed how it was working. But evolution-based decks, right? You're just kind of oh, did I open all level 6s? Fuck, I guess I just lose the game. I've been playing D-Brigade for too long. I'm too used to just slap, 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 just slapping your cards on the table and not evolving, just hard play everything. Though you can brick really easily in that deck, but whatever. They're just going to fight, Haas. Oh, they're not going to fight. They're going to get along or help me. I'll do something drastic. Oh, okay, so he's going to get Roswell and Tyson to play a game together, right? Is that what I'm getting at? Because for a second I was like, is he going to force me to do something with Sal to cheer us up? Because I want that to happen. I don't like seeing Sal sad. He's a wholesome boy. He's the big friend, but he's so lovable. Like the shirt? Haas shook his head, sighing out, but before he could comment on further, Dean looked around. Sorry to dash like this, but Sal's giving Orlando a swimming lesson. Dave, I would have asked if you wanted to come, but I'm going to make sure he has an extra set of hands. Oh, okay. With a half wave, Dean hurried along out of the dining room, leaving me with Haas. Well, time to go. Go where? He didn't answer, instead dragging me out of my chair and leading me out of the dining room. When we go to the rec room, Tyson and Roswell were standing awkwardly in the room, half acknowledging the other was there. Excellent, we're all here. Yeah, I guess. Not that I, mind, but why? He shot Tyson a quick look, uncertain, but he just shrugged back, equally confused. Now that Dave is here, and turns out he wasn't doing anything, we're going to make you two get along. What? That's not necessary, is it? Really? If it were up to you two, you'd be all... He gestured over his head, loosely rolling his eyes. Not only that, but Tyson's a swell guy and could use more friends. Fuck off, I don't need more friends. Yeah. You kinda do, Ty. I'm managing fine. Oh, sure, and you were doing fine before you discovered anime with your many friends. I half expected Tyson to make some sort of annoyed remark at Haas the moment he spoke. Or even when he threw an arm over his shoulder. Instead, he just grumbled something under his breath, and looked away. That's, something. Not that I mind Roswell being here, but, because it's time to bury the hatchet. Or, no, that's not a great phrasing, friend. Or settle old feuds. Someone's gonna look out for Big Dog here. Big Dog? Fuck off, I'm a wolf. Haas rolled his eyes, shrugging. Then be the big bad wolf for all I care. You're not telling me that you expect me to look out for him, do you? Nope, that's my job. Or something like that. Something that not just anime can solve, given what you like and what he likes seems to be different. So what? We're going to get food? We all like food. Oh, if you're doing food, then you should have grabbed Orlando, right? Unless it's just eating, then perhaps Dean. Yeah, sure. You snack gremlin. You snack gremlin, you. Well, fine. If we're going to do food, then I'll just go get some snacks and we can do that. Not so fast. I have a better idea. Better than snacks? I know, right? Don't really know what snacks I like. That gonna matter? I chuckled nervously, unsure of what was going to happen if he and Roswell had any common ground. Nope. We're not doing anime or snacks today. Those are like the only two things in this world, Haas. Like, what the fuck? At least not as the main activity. I yawned, stretching before looking at the three of them. What is the main activity? Board games. This early, before lunch? I have to agree. I don't think I've ever played a board game before lunch. Normally it's waking up time. I don't know. What does that even mean? Oh, right. Or like, if it's a game, just turn on the TV or pull out a deck of cards. Yeah, let's pull out a deck of cards. Let's go. Let's duel. Or stand up, whatever. Tachiagare, boku no bushin. Brasta blero. Is what it is. Man, I actually think playing Gancelot or Alfred is like super boring. Like, blaster decks are so boring to play. I'm not entirely against playing Royal Paladins, because I do like Altmile. I like Altmile a lot. But have you seen those abs? Who wouldn't like Altmile? I saw Roswell's face light up, and I quickly looked to Haas, alarmed. Cards, huh? Didn't know you like playing cards, Tyson. Only when money's on the line. Cut that out. Reason we're not playing cards is because you cheat. I do not cheat. That's not what I heard from Orlando. Oh, you mean when they play their trading cards or whatever. Any card game, apparently. Now, what kind of cheating are we talking here? Is Roswell like rule sharking? I consider that almost cheating, but no. You negated the activation of the card, not the effect of the card. You should have declared that better, or No, you didn't chain to the beginning of the battle phase. You chained to the end of main phase, so I still get my main phase. Yeah, like, no, fuck off. Like, you know what I meant. Like, you know what I fucking meant. Dude, if you're gonna cheat, at least do it properly. I don't cheat, honest. Anyway, it's not a problem because we're not playing cards. Then what's the point? What are we playing? You said a board game, but that's a lot. There's a lot of board games to choose from. Doesn't bother me. Beats working out all morning anyway. Great. So without further ado, let me just get that game. It'll be back. I'll be right back. I watch as Haas wanders over to the cupboard and starts to pursue the game before peruse. That's the got there. The game before looking to Tyson and Roswell. So, the two of them seemed to be minding their own business, looking at me the moment I spoke. Games, huh? Yep. Just assumed we'd be watching more anime. Same. It's most of what Haas does goes on about. That and healthy living. Oh god, Haas is one of those. Roswell shudders, sticking out his tongue at the prospect. Suckered me in with the prospect of doing something fun. Did he explain to either of you what you were doing beforehand, or? Both of them just shook their heads, glancing at each other quietly. Quickly. If I had to guess, kept it from us so we wouldn't bail? Right. Cards on the table, I probably would've. Not alone there. But you're both here. I guess it's just time to get along? Couldn't have said it better myself. Haas put an arm around my shoulder while he carried a box in his free hand, rattling it gently. Come on, let's get to gaming. We settled in around a table with the box sitting between us. So? Huh? What game are we playing? I looked at the box, chuckling nervously. Mousetrap? Not the most team-building exercise, but sure, that works. We can play a round of this and then, I don't know, go from there. Can't we play, I don't know, a video game? If the goal is to make us friends, then I don't know. He's got a point. Should have at least planned for something more collaborative. Maybe we could try that chef game Orlando likes. We'll deal with that afterwards. However, you know, I'm thinking, I don't think I've ever actually played Rat Trap. Like, that's that, right? It's like has all those. I don't like board games with a lot of things. So when I see board games where it's like you have to build a contraption and like, oh, it does the things, rah! Also, there's way too much RNG for me in a board game. Like, come on. Give me a card game where I feel in complete control at all times. Because I'm the ass that plays control decks. Yes, I will set 5 and pass in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's nothing you can do. It's an unbreakable board. And then they'll evenly match me and I'll scoop the game. But, you know, it's just... You know how it is. He gestured to Roswell and Tyson quickly. You two are going to have a little bit more of a handicap. Why the fuck would we have a handicap? Yeah, that doesn't seem fair. Well, how about this then? If you don't want a handicap, then how about you say something nice about one another? The hell? Who made you the boss? There was no reply, and I noticed Roswell and Tyson looking my way, and when I noticed Haas gesturing at me with a thumb. Wait, what? I didn't say anything. I mean, if you didn't think you two could get along, then by all means, play with a handicap. You literally do not have the power to enforce this handicap. Oh, I wouldn't say that, Roswell. After all, I'd like to think Dave here would love for you two to get on. Yeah. Or, Or you could make him sad. Either way. My eyes darted from Haas to the other two, who were shifting uncomfortably, looking at each other while occasionally stealing a look at me. What's the handicap? Really? You're not even going to try? Are you going to try? Fair? Fair? Roswell breathed in deep, rubbing his nose. Okay. I can do this. Tyson, I like how you can keep Dave calm when he's freaking out. That's a start. Or maybe try something not involving Dave. Why are you trying to force this anyway? Can't we just, I don't know, play this game on hard mode? Cause fuck, if it's against you two, if it's against you two, you'd probably need the advantage. Huh? I'm not that bad at games. I looked at Roswell, who seemed determined about something, thinking his words over carefully. I'm trying to be better. I need to be better. Tyson rolled his eyes, scratching his head. Don't go hurting yourself. God, would you would you look at yourselves? You're so familiar, it's uncanny. What? Oh yeah, you two are a lot more alike than you realize. Probably why you didn't get on. Really? I don't see it. Neither. Same. Well, I've known Roswell a bit longer than Tyson, but you're not too hard to figure out. What's that supposed to mean? That maybe you could afford to chill for a little. Roswell has stuff that drives him, and that's he's sensitive about. And so do you. But you both let your guard down around certain people. Once again, I felt eyes on me. So, about that handicap. Come on, Ty. Try's for me. Tyson grumbled, but didn't say anything, sitting back in his chair and keeping his eyes folded over his chest. Maybe if you treated this like a game too, Tyson. What do you mean? You like games, right? Which means you probably like winning. Just see the game as like proving Haas wrong or something. A little spite for sure, but I guess that works. While they talked, I started pulling things out of the box, looking at each of the pieces and looking for the rulebook. For example, Tyson, I like how confident you are. Confident? Sure, I guess that works. You at least come across that way. Maybe a little, cocksure? Maybe a little What is that even? Is that a phrase? Am I insane? Do I have a phone nearby? It's on the table way behind me, isn't it? Fuck. Yeah, I'm not walking over there. Oh, wait, but nowhere near as bad as Haas. I'm right here, Roswell. Well, thanks, I guess. You're very welcome. It was nice seeing those two interact without being at each other's throats, but something was missing. At first, I thought it was the lack of, the lack of immediate reply from Tyson, but when I thought about it, it was actually something else. Something felt off. Maybe it was the lack of familiarity, but they'd apologized to one another, right? This was good. But what if it wasn't? Was breaking what I was originally really all that good? Was breaking what I was used to really all that good? I valued the consistency, but I've been giving that up by messing with the vault, intervening when normally I wouldn't. I would have just let things play out. Was Tyson all right with this? I liked what we had, but what if he changed? What if he became someone that I no longer recognized? Let whatever happens happen. Let them die. The voice in my head confused me. Let them grow as people, but also let them die. Was the only way to stop them from dying to keep them the same? Dave, come on, buddy, snap out of it. Stop saying buddy. You're just gonna make me miss buddy fight. What? What happened? Noticed you were you were zoned out. Everything good? I looked at the three of them, much like at breakfast. I was faced with the expression of worry and concern. I guess so. Bullshit. What? What was it that I said I liked about Roswell? Oh, I looked, but I want to know what you said. Looking him over with a brow furrowed. His clothes? Not even close, buddy. You need more sleep, or? I'm fine. The words even felt hollow as they came out of my mouth. A flinch reaction more than anything else. You don't sound fine. Roswell, you're the smart one. You know what's up? Roswell puffed out his chest, scratching his chin as he locked eyes with me, seemingly trying to figure me out like a puzzle. Normally I'd say fatigue, but something's different, very peculiar. Wow, great insight there. Well, go on then, what's your guess? Now it was Tyson's turn to stare me down, and I looked away, not wanting to meet his eyes. Could be a couple things. Don't know for sure, though. And there you two, and here you two were shocked that you two weren't similar. We'll try it, see how you do. Guys, we just not do this. I gestured to the game in front of us. Even Tyson and Roswell are getting on. Haas, this is what you wanted, right? But what did you want, Dave? Me? Yeah, you're always in on what everyone else wants. What do you want for a change? Man, we gonna be Kamen Rider O's? Where, like, the lesson is, like, stop being so into helping others, that you should help yourself instead of destroying yourself for other people and being so self-sacrificing to the point that you lose all of your senses and, like, oh man, it was got real depressing, didn't it? I'm always so sad when people say they don't like Kamen Rider O's, because it's like, but Edgy, he's so wholesome, and it's so sad what he went through. And you have Ankh, and everyone loves Ankh. He's like gay icon. You know what I mean? Yeah. Looking at each of them in turn, I sat back, really wondering what something I wanted was. For the most part, I wasn't ever left wanting, so it was a hard thing to think of on the spot. I lingered a little longer on Tyson, that feeling returning in my chest. It hurt in a good way, but for the most part, just made me feel sick. I don't know. Come on, you can do better than that. Did you want a snack? I could get you something sweet to perk you up if you want. If it were bedtime, he'd want to sleep with someone and get some cuddling in. Hey, could just be that he wants to be doing something rather than just talk all day. That said, talking is always good. Yeah, I know you love talking already. Oh, someone's already been on the receiving end of one of Haas's anime rants. Just wait until he gets you to pick one of your... Just wait until he gets you to pick out your first waifu. Look. It's a rite of passage to choose your waifu. And Nanami Chaki from Danganronpa 2 is the best one. Oh. Man, she's great. I think she'd like this game. I don't know. I don't know. She never really talked about VNs, did she? I don't know. Oh. I think she would enjoy them. She liked that one well, that was like a point-and-click adventure, wasn't it? Yeah, so like it's a more of an adventure game, but yeah, she'd probably be up for this. That's never happening. Who's your waifu, Tyson? Tell me. First of all, yes, it is happening. Second, we're getting off track. No, we're not. We're on the waifu discussion. You know, I'm also real into Bulma, though. From Dragon Ball. Damn. She's just so... She's so confident and knows what she's doing. Yeah. She's great. Has great legs, too. And those mom jeans in Super, bruh. That cute short haircut. That white t-shirt she has that shows just a little bit of midriff. She has the ascot just... Oh my god. Or is that a scarf? I don't know the difference. But yeah, 10 out of 10. We're getting off track. Let's focus on Dave. Tyson and Roswell laughed to themselves as Haas grumbled. It didn't go further than that, and we started playing our game. Of course, Roswell won, and Tyson called it bullshit anyway. But they seemed to have fun, much to Haas's relief. From then, we moved on to video games, and after the third time Tyson stealing some of the star thing from Roswell, we stopped in a huff when Haas snuck out a victory. You don't play Mario Party when you're trying to make friends. It's just not gonna happen. Unless you're in a room full of Asians. Then it's just a good time. But if there's white people involved, it's not gonna be a good time. This was nice, but the thought of what I really wanted lingered. Was it simply to have a good vacation? To keep everyone alive? To have them be friends? Or was I just waiting to be left alone? Bullshit, we're going again. What, mad you lost again? Guys, maybe chill for a bit? Hell no. I had checked out for a while, but as soon as the score screen flashed on the screen, it seemed as though they were even enough with Roswell 1 point ahead. Ah, well, fighting in the game is better than in person, right? Just one more, come on. Sure, just don't go complaining when you lose. I sat the controller down, not even sure what we were playing anymore. Haas seemed to follow suit, wandering over to the side to look through what the other things in the room... Haas, where are you going? Letting these two sort it out. Looking at how things were going with the other two, it seemed they were both furiously mashing buttons to do something. A bunch of flashing lights were happening on the screen, and it was hard to keep track of what was happening. But eventually the screen flashed that Tyson had won, and he huffed out, pleased with himself, despite the score now being tied. Button masher. Sorry, didn't hear that over the sounds of me winning. Roswell went to say something, but resolved himself to crossing his arms over his chest, sulking. God, they really were similar. But what happens now? We're watching anime. Oh, really? Why? Yeah, I was kinda having fun. Well, count me out. I looked out to Tyson, tilting his head in confusion when I noticed he was looking at me. Oh, come on, Tyson, don't be like that. Calm down, it's not like that at all. I just need a break. Well, if that's all, mind if I take one too? Neither of you are coming back if you take a break. I'm calling it now. I feel like I should come back now, just to spite you. Once again, I caught him looking at me, jerking his head towards the door quickly. I might be back, dunno. Just need a break for a bit. It's probably about lunchtime. It's about time for lunch anyway, right? Ah, good point. I mean it. I'll stick around to watch some anime. Could do with something a little a lower energy after that. We headed downstairs, but the moment I touched down on the tile of the ground floor, Ty started grabbing me towards the back, dragging me towards the back door. Roswell glanced at us over his shoulder, curious, but Haas ushered him towards the dining room all the same. Tyson closed the door behind him quietly. Legitimately, I don't think I've gotten that right once. I feel like every single time I've just been like, I always swap them. Even in the Echo playthrough, like, fuck it. And I wandered over to the rails where he had joined me the morning before. Ty? He sighed out, shaking his head. Some morning, huh? I'm going to end the part here. All right, everyone? That sounds fine. So, see you around.